Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to just do a quick review. This will be a short video on some of the trig things that we solved for, basically. I'm not going to go over everything because, again, this is just reviewing, and there's a lot of individual pieces that we went over. So, biggest thing with trig, you guys got to remember is SOHCAHTOA, right? Where that's sine, which is opposite over hypotenuse. The C is cosine, and the T is tangent, right? So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so as you go through these, you're going to be asked to solve for certain things. And here we go. So first things first, we have a trig ratio problem here, and I didn't fill out all the information. Hold on. I'm not as prepared as I want it to be. Anyway, so let's fill this out real quick, and it wants us to solve for cosine of z. Okay, so to figure out the trig ratio for cosine, we again need to look at, I need the, or no, I don't, I have it. We look at SOHCAHTOA, right? So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And it wants z, angle z, which is this angle right here. So I need the adjacent side and I need the hypotenuse to set up this trig ratio. Well, adjacent side would be the side that's the leg that shares the angle, so it would be 18 would be adjacent, and then the hypotenuse is 30, right? It's always the angle over the, or opposite the right angle. So you would think I'm done, right? Is that my answer? Nope. Gave that to me, you'd be wrong. Why is that wrong? I set up the sides right, but I did not reduce, right? I need to actually figure out what 18 over 30 simplifies to. So the actual answer would be 3 over 5. That's the answer I want with trig ratios. Okay, pretty easy, simple concept there. Missing side. So we're going to be given an angle, one side, and then an indicated side to solve for. So looking at this is my right angle, right? Which means this is my hypotenuse. And this side is opposite the angle that I want to solve for, or that I am given anyway. So I have an opposite side, I have the hypotenuse. That means I'm going to use sine. So it'll be sine of 38 would equal the trig ratio, which is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, then we just need to get the x by itself, so we'd multiply by 12. And then we just plug in 12 sine of 38 into our calculator. So 12 sine of 38. 12 times sine of 38. And I get 7.38. And I want to round that to the nearest tenth. I believe I didn't write the instruction down, but I believe it wanted it to the nearest tenth. So 7.38 would round to 7.4. Okay. All right, one last one to go over. If I have an angle that I want to solve for and it gives me two sides, I need to use the inverse. So if this is my angle, it looks like I have an adjacent side and a hypotenuse. So I'm going to have to use the cosine inverse. So basically to set up the cosine inverse, it would be cosine inverse function is just going to equal, cosine of that, and then times the ratio, so 14 over 37, should equal my question mark. Okay, and then you just got to plug that in your calculator. There's no solving or anything like that you have to plug in. You just got to plug in the ratio, so 14 divided by 37. And I get 67.76, and I believe it wants it rounded to the nearest tenth. So this measurement, or it might even be the nearest degree. So it's either 67.8 or it might even be 68. 67.8 degrees. Okay. And again, just pay attention to the instructions above each section. I didn't write down the full instructions, and I should have. But that's basically all you're doing today. There's some word problems in there, and there's some multi-step solving for the sides. But basically, you're doing these 3 different things today. And that's it. And I'll see you guys around.